Hello, parents and students around the world. Welcome again to Cindy's Corner. Today we're going to discuss the decimal system. The decimal system is an important part of math, as any system is. It's divided into three parts: the whole number, the decimal, and the fraction part. The decimal system is used throughout the world. It's used in economics, it's used in math, sometimes science, money values. The decimal system is a very important part of math. What do we mean? For example, in the United States, the money value is divided into 100 equal parts, 100 cents. But it is shown many times in decimal value. Part of the relationship is written in decimal form. The main thing to remember about the decimal form or the decimal system is that decimals represent fractions, which fractions are part of a whole. Decimals represent fractions with a denomination power of 10. What do we mean by that? What is a denominator that has the power of 10? We know that in fractions, we're going to talk about the decimals, but there is a relationship between the two. We know with fractions, the top number is called the numerator. And the bottom number is called the denominator. The numerator and the denominator. That's a fraction. Fractions are written in this form: 1/2. 1 is the numerator, 2 is the denominator. 5/7. 5 is the numerator, 7 is the denominator. $15,000. Over this number. This is the numerator, this is the denominator. The number at the top is the numerator, the number at the bottom is the denominator. Decimals represent numbers with the power, excuse me. Decimals represent numbers in the fraction form with the power of 10. What do we mean? We just discussed the numerator and the denominator. So the denominator is the number on the bottom of a fraction. With decimals, the denominator has the power of 10. How do we write 5/10 in decimal form? 0.5. The denominator of all decimals, we're dealing with numbers that have the power of 10. 100 is another number that has the power of 10. 1,000 is another number that has the power of 10. And it goes on. 10,000, 100,000. Decimals, which are in three parts: the whole number, the decimal, and the fraction part. The fraction part deals with fractions that have the denominator of 10. I use an example, the American dollar. $1 is represented with the decimal point. Sometimes someone may say 1.25. 1.25, there's still, the point is the decimal point. The United States dollar money system is understandable by $1. $1. There are two zeros here. The 10th column has a 0. The 100th column has a 0. The American dollar is represented $1 or 100 cents. The relationship is written in decimal form, which is 1.00, $1. That's an example. Half is written in decimal form as 25. The denominator is in the value of 10. 25 over 100 in decimal form is written 0.25. Because there are 3 parts to the decimal system, when you see, many times, when you see something written in decimal form, a whole number is part of the decimal system. So you may see it written this way, 0.25. 0.25 is still 25 over 100, or reduced to the lowest common denominator, 1/4. 0.25 is still 1/4. Why is the 0 here then? The 0 is here to hold the value part of the whole number. There is no whole number in 1/4. Again, using the American dollar system, this would be 25 cents. This would be 25 cents. There's no dollar value. When there is no value in the decimal system, there's usually a 0 placed there for better explanation and to hold the value of the number that's not there. Let's say we're talking about 5 and 2 100. In decimal form, the 5 is the whole number. 5, we have a decimal point. Any number beyond here, we're going to think of the 10th value, which is none. And the 100th value is a 2. This is the way it's written in decimal form. Because we always have to remember, decimal form has 3 parts. We have the whole number, which is 5. There's no 10th here, but 2 100. So this 2 is placed in the 100 column. $5 and 12 over 100 will be written. 5 is the whole number, the decimal point. There's always 3 parts. There may be more. I mean, the fraction value may be longer than 2 digits. The fraction value may be longer than 2 digits. It may be 5.0025. So now we're talking about 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. When there's no value there, a 0 is placed there. If we're talking about 75%, There is a 0 because 75% we did not mention the whole number. 0.75. There's no number there. The 0 is usually placed to hold the value. This would be the same in the fraction form as 75 over 100. Why is it 75 over 100? Because the value in the decimal form is usually with numbers that have the power of 10. 100 has the power of 10. We're using the whole number, the decimal, and 75, which can be reduced to 3/4. This is 3/4 of a whole number. Decimal system. So one of the main things I want you to remember today, and welcome again to Cindy's Corner, is that in the decimal system, there are 3 parts. The whole number, the decimal point, and the fraction part. In math, talking, as I said before, meetings, economics, math class, it might be mentioned, 1.25. The point, you may say 1.25. Point is the decimal point. It may not be discussed as 1.25. It may be said as 1.25. When you hear that, you know that the point is the decimal point, which is one of the 3 parts of the decimal system. Thank you so much for being in Cindy's Corner. That's just a general view, because I do believe in basis and preparation in math. That's just a general review of the beginning of the decimal system. Thank you for joining me today, and welcome to Cindy's Corner. Click the like button to help share this video, and I will see you next time in Cindy's Corner.